It's Friday, so it's time for our Agile, Not So Agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. And I thought that I would close out this week by talking about how to beat procrastination. In this world, right now, let's just face it, we are all like littered and riddled with distractions. There's so many things going on. Procrastination is often people's biggest struggle. There are a few typical signs of chronic procrastinators, if you will. And I'll list off a few just to give you some examples. When you endlessly scroll your phone thinking there could be something important, it's almost as if your brain's searching for that next dopamine hit to get you going or to keep you going or to keep you interested or to get you excited. Sometimes you make excuses for not doing a specific task now, such as, oh, I know I really need to do this, but I need to wait for this answer to continue. I need to wait for this to happen. Or you're just waiting for the ideal moment, the perfect moment to do anything. I remember once I had a brother or someone I consider a brother, not a literal brother, who came up to me and says, one day I'm going to get married. I said, oh, that sounds amazing. When are you getting married? He says, I'm waiting until I'm completely out of debt, happy, have the car of my dreams, and have a successful placement inside of a business. I said, wow. Right? So if you're waiting for the perfect moment, sometimes things may not ever happen. And this brother that I'm talking about is still not married. Without realizing it, these types of behaviors can take a massive toll on your mental health. You'll find that you're always dissatisfied. You'll find that you're waking up at night and you're freaking out about something you have to do the next day or you have something you have to do soon. And you start asking questions like, who did I create value for yesterday? How did I advance my goals? How much better or how little of my potential am I using? Right? These are all just frustrating points, and you come to the conclusion that something has to change. Something has to be different. And so many people try different productivity techniques, like getting things done, which I absolutely love, right? Active journaling. There's so many things you can do. I know Mr. Wonderful talks a lot about vision boards and creating vision boards and sticking with those. Some type of implemented accountability metric or method, like Weight Watchers for weight loss, for example. I experienced moments of frustration and success, and some people say they learn a lot along the way during this journey. Now, you can never say that you're fully cured of procrastination, but you can always say that you've made massive improvements. So, here are a couple of things you can do to help you overcome procrastination and help make things easier for you going forward. One of those is to break down large tasks. If you know something's big and it's a big, hairy thing that you have to do, break it down into smaller chunks. Identify the main steps, divide them into subtasks, create with a subset or a list of the easiest subtasks so you can get that win on your belt and know that it's not impossible and that you're on your way, right? Okay. So, how about separating tasks? So, when you separate tasks, there's this concept many of you may or may not be familiar with called the Eisenhower matrix. If you don't know what it is, look it up. The Eisenhower matrix talks about organizing tasks based on their urgency. So it's do first, schedule, delegate, or eliminate. And what I can tell you is, here's a hint. I do this all the time, right? So do first means it's urgent and important. Schedule means it's important but not necessarily urgent. Delegate means it's urgent but not important. And eliminate means it's not urgent or not important. So you can create a quadrant and you can place all your work into the quadrant, and it's going to help you determine what you need to do with that work. So I think that's a pretty smart way to do it, right? So once again, if you never read anything about the Eisenhower matrix, go look it up. It's pretty cool. Okay. Then, once you have that, you can start blocking out your time. So time blocking or time scheduling is something that's critical. If you're going to be successful, whether it's in business or life, you need to find ways to block out your time. Allocate specific blocks of time for your family, for education. Allocate blocks of time for your weekend. Allocate blocks of time. There's so many things you can allocate blocks of time to do. And then make sure you review what you're trying to do. And make sure that your calendar's not filled to the hilt without any time for yourself. Make sure you do allocate time for yourself as well. Use the 2-minute rule. Ask yourself, will these tasks take me more or less than 2 minutes to complete? If it's going to take less than 2 minutes, do it right away. Get it done. If you do it right away, you can prevent small tasks from piling up and causing you to get overwhelmed, and you can get that quick hit you need right away for that quick win, right? Okay. Identify and understand the 4 levels to limit distractions. So level 1 is put my phone on Do Not Disturb or keep it outside of my room. Level 2 would be deleting social media apps so you don't use them. Number 3 is use website blockers such as cold turkey to block what you're trying to do. Number 4 is use a phone jail to lock up your phone for a predefined period. These are examples of ways that you can limit distractions, right? So if you're trying to limit distractions, you've got lots of different techniques. Each of those work, but for each person, it's going to be different. You have to find out what works for you based on how you're wired and how you scale and what you do. Okay. Have mini celebrations. This one's interesting. Sometimes when you're working, you don't celebrate good wins. And what you have to realize is concentration is like a muscle. It needs rest and breaks to boost its efficiency. Many people do the whole work for 25 minutes pretty intensive and then take a 5-minute break. And then repeat, and each time take a longer break after 4 cycles. If you can do this, you could have time to take a walk and do some stretches. Put on uplifting music and play it in the background. There's so many great songs. Grab a drink you enjoy, but make sure it's not one of those energy drinks because you don't want to be wired the entire time. Okay, next you could apply the 4-step system for delegating your tasks. You could start by making a list of all the activities, and for each one you can indicate the impact of the energy. Can you delegate the task? Can you eliminate the task? If you can delegate it, who should you delegate it to? With some small notes, and if it's an application, obviously you want to provide a link to the people who are doing the work. Okay. Let's see. Make a video with clear instructions. Use a tool like Loom or Canva. I can tell you right now, I do a lot of Loom videos and they work really, really well. So that's a great tool. Search for an accountability partner. Sometimes part of being successful is understanding, and beating procrastination means that you're going to have an accountability partner that's going to say, hey, did you ever do this, or did you get around to this? And it's easy if you just ask a friend to be your accountability partner. Schedule a monthly or weekly accountability call. Put in parameters or outcomes of what's expected, and make sure that you focus on goals and goal setting. And if you can follow a fixed agenda and achieve those goals, it's going to help you feel more successful in the end. So whether it's you're struggling with doing consistent posts on social media, or whether you're just struggling to get your head around the work you're trying to do, whether you're just struggling to get your schedule right so you have enough time to spend time with your family, find ways to declutter. Declutter your personal life. Declutter your professional life. Find ways to break down the large things into smaller things. Separate what matters. Time block what things are important. Take the 2-minute rule. Take the breaks when needed. Limit your distractions. Couple what you're trying to do with the reward system that's in place for doing it. Follow a 4-step program for designing or delegating tasks. Search for an accountability partner who's going to hold you accountable but also rock and roll with you. And keep your work environment safe and clean, and make sure that you're identifying areas for improvement as you go. That's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this Friday episode, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Until Monday, I hope that you'll stay well, stay healthy, and stay agile, my friends. We'll see you Monday. Do take care.